Let's get ready for our chant. Lines up. 3, 2, 1. Lines, lines, lines. Shape, color, texture, form, space, value. Today we're going to be using texture to create this cute bear. We're going to be using shapes and lines for our bear. These are some photographs of bears close up. Look at their texture. If you could actually feel this bear's fur, how do you think it would feel? Would it feel soft and fluffy, or would it be pokey or scratchy? We're going to start drawing with the bear's head. It needs to be a circle shape. So I'm drawing a few pretend circles without letting my pen touch the paper first before I put my circle down. Don't forget, if your circle doesn't turn out perfect, it's okay. No bear's head is actually a perfect circle. You could also find a circle to trace, like a cup or a plate. Next, we're going to add the bear's ears. The ears look like an upside down U or a rainbow. He has 2 ears on the top of his head. Next, we're going to be drawing the bear's nose. Put your finger in the middle of your bear's head and go down, down, down. And then above your finger, draw a rainbow. That's going to be the top of his nose. Then you can add the bottom part of it. It's going to be rounded. There we go. Now, the bear has a muzzle that connects his mouth to his nose. So we're going to draw a straight line going down. Looks like a lollipop right now. And then you can add your bear's mouth. Do you want him to be frowny, like he's grumpy, or do you want him to be happy? I want mine to be happy, so I'm going to draw 2 rainbow lines like that. There we go. He's starting to look like a bear now. Now he needs the rounded part of his muzzle. This is how his nose sticks out. Dogs have the same muzzle. It looks like an upside down U. Oh, that's a right side up U. All right, next, eyes. Rounded shapes for the eyes. I'm doing the same thing that I did with the face. I draw a pretend circle first, and then I put my pen down. Okay, now to make our bear's eyes look shiny, we're going to add a highlight. For my highlights, I'm going to add like a moon shape. And then around that shape is going to be colored black, or whatever color you want your bear's eyes to be. You can pause the video while you're coloring it in, or go back and finish it later if you don't have time while I'm doing this on the video. The highlight should be on the same side of both eyes. The highlight is where the light hits the eye. It's what makes it look shiny. And you're actually going to do the same thing on the bear's nose, because the bear's nose is usually black and shiny too. So I drew that moon shape on the right side of the nose, and now I'm coloring everything in around it. Time to start adding some details now. We're going to add the inner part of the ear, like a rainbow shape. And then these are the bear's sides. It's just a curved line that goes from the bottom of the head all the way down to the bottom of the paper. And if you add 2 more lines right here, then suddenly your bear has arms. Now you could stop here, or you could add some other fun things. We are going to be adding some texture to our bear's face. Bears have fur. They're covered in it. And to make this fur, I have chosen to add some straight, short lines to my bear's face. You could add shapes to your texture if you want to make your bear look really furry. You could add some triangles maybe. I have put the video in super speed here so that it doesn't take me too long to do this on camera, but you need to take your time while you're adding your texture lines so that your bear is something you can be proud of when you're done. Just add lines all over your bear's face. Don't scribble scrabble though, take your time. Now I'm going to add a sweater to my bear because what's funnier than a bear in a sweater? So I added a collar first, and now I'm adding texture to the sweater. And I'm going to add some pattern to it, kind of like an ugly Christmas sweater with all the patterns on it, and they're usually funny. So I started with the line, and then I'm going to fill this up with shapes. Think about what shapes you want on your bear's sweater. Do you want hearts and circles like I'm about to add? Do you want triangles? Maybe trees or unicorns or fire trucks? What kind of sweater does your bear want to be wearing today? Remember, pattern is repeated lines, colors, or shapes. Most clothing has patterns on it. Check out your clothing and see if it has some patterns. I'm going to fill up this bear's sweater with patterns, lines, colors, or shapes. Just taking a minute after I'm all done to neaten it up, and there we go, complete. Except the background. Here we go on our background. The background is whatever's around. Here's my bear, and then around my bear is the background. Think about where you want your bear to be. Remember the magic line? I'm going to use a magic line here. It goes behind my bear's head, not through his face, but behind the bear's head. So remember the magic line separates the sky from the ground. All of that underneath that magic line is ground. What do I want to be back here on my magic line? I want my bear to be outside in a snowstorm. So I'm going to add some trees. These are pine trees. They're still green when it's snowy and cold outside. I'm adding some texture to my trees, but not a lot of details because they're far away. My bear is really close up. Here's some snowflakes. Bears like the cold because of all their fur, and this bear is going to be extra warm because he has this awesome sweater. Some snowflakes falling in the sky. I've chosen to put them behind and around my bear instead of on his face so that it doesn't cover up. Next, it's time to add some color, baby. I love color. I've chosen to use markers and crayons. You can use whatever you have at home. If you would just want to leave your bear a drawing, you can do that. If you have paint, you could do that. Or you could use markers and crayons like I'm doing. Color neatly and do your best. It takes practice to color like this, so you do your best. I love experimenting with color. It's one of my favorite things to do. It looks like I'm coloring super fast in the video, but remember, I speed it up when I color. So you take your time and have fun creating while you color. When you're all done, don't forget to sign it like an artist. That just means you write your name. Here are some bears drawn by other kiddos. Notice how they all look different. That's the great thing about art. We can all make bears with texture in completely different ways. Have fun creating!